cool.
No, that's cool. I'm about to go. Well, I'm on Facebook. I just have to go there and make sure that I hit the button.
Okay, boo. I'm ready.
So that we'll be able to see your comments when they on there.
I hope some people's come through.
Oh, here it is.
I know my readers are like, what? Paranormal? What?
Yes, I'm telling you. So we good to go. And you bring these comments up. Yeah, because you are the third author that I have that does paranormal. And I'm like, wait a minute, it's a lot of us in here. You know when I say us, what I mean, there's a lot of us getting into that genre.
Let's keep the door down. Look at let me use one for a perfect example of genre bending for Black people.
Yeah.
As far as TV, even Lovecraft Country. Crazy.
Very much, yes. I didn't even know about that show.
It is.
My fiance told me about that, and honestly, I was like, at first, I was like, "What type of witchcraft are you making me watch?"
Yeah.
Then I found myself turning it on when he wasn't there. I was like, "Okay,
See,
I love it."
You know who's
Hey, William. So William just said, "Hey, William, big up Park Heights." No matter where you move to, William.
You probably can't see my hand, but hey,
we can see. We can see. So. First of all, I would love for you to introduce yourself to everyone, and you can let them know about your book and a little bit about you. I'm gonna ask you some questions after because I'm gonna chop it up.
Okay.
You know,
I'm ready to chop it up. Okay.
Yes.
I'm Nika Michelle. I have been writing. Since I was a little girl, like 6. I've always wanted to be a writer. And excuse the glare, y'all. It's the computer screen. I have to wear these to see to read. But anywho. Yeah, I've been writing for a long time, but as far as like getting into the market now, it's been I think I started professionally in 2009. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been like 12 years, and I've just been in here doing urban this whole time, and I was like, you know what? I'm feeling stifled. Like I'm in this box, and I don't want to be there, and I can't keep reproducing these same stories. I want to do something different. I love other genres. I love mystery. I love paranormal. I love Octavia Butler. I love her science fiction. I don't really like a lot of science fiction, but I do like her. She's a Black science fiction author for people who've never heard of her. I love Walter Mosley. Eric Jerome Dickey, rest his soul.
Oh yeah! Oh wow!
One of the biggest inspirations of my career.
Yes.
People like you, and a lot of other authors who are out now. Like the newbies that we are here now. We're paving the way for who comes.
I lied. I know my daughter just. Oh, I thought that was my look. You can tell this a ghetto thing. I know my kids ain't just open that door.
They are so cute. I love your boys. They are so entertaining. And
oh my God! Listen,
I've been watching them grow up, and they are so.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Look, someone said yes. Tatiana said yes. A paranormal author, yes, because I love it.
Well, technically,
you just wrote a paranormal book. This is our first time.
Yeah. So please, y'all, be easy on me because I've never done this.
No. This is a safe zone.
It was a leap of faith to go into another genre when I've been doing this for so long, and it's like for the longest time I was like, I want to write paranormal. I want to write this, but then back in my mind I was like, Black people don't really like it, but I was like, I can't say that because I do. I love it.
Because you do. And it's someone else just like you that like it. Or someone like me that didn't understand it. Like I said, I would see the name paranormal and be like, oh, that ain't for me. I ain't gonna enjoy it. But I would just assume.
You think of scary. That's your automatic thought. Is this is scary?
I'm scared of Chucky.
Right. And I had a lot of people who read me and they're like, Nika, I read everything you write, but I won't read this one. And I was like, you know what? I promise you, it won't be scary. It's actually a paranormal romance. So it's just something out of this world, something that's just going to take you to a fantasy. That's what books are about.
Okay.
Let's go to a fantasy world. I don't want to be here on the streets all the time in regular life. Let's go somewhere where your mind just can be like, oh, wow. So that's kind of where I wanted to go.
And you know what, on that note, because I have so much things I want to ask you, but I'm going to make you go ahead and start your chapter. Everybody, here's Nika Michelle reading Craving Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, let's go. So it's Craving Sunset, an urban paranormal romance. So let me get there. Okay. So here we go, y'all. I'm not really good at reading. I'm a more of a writer, but hopefully I can get the feelings in there so you can feel the story.
Yes.
Let's go. Chapter 1. Juan's skin started to crawl as he sat in the holding cell. Knowing what Soul was, he also knew not to talk to the police about him. First of all, they'd probably put him in a padded room if he spoke about it. Suddenly, that seemed better than a prison cell. He would be facing more than 20 years for possessing so much crave. He'd definitely take that over Soul's wrath. A mere mortal himself, he knew that 12 couldn't do. Oh, am I allowed to curse?
Yeah. Go.
Okay. Just making sure. Okay. A mere mortal himself, he knew that 12 couldn't do shit to Soul, but he also knew that Soul didn't want to be exposed. Instead, he was more concerned with just blending in and doing his business. If his cover was blown, it would have caused a lot of bloodshed and unrest for the man who become like a father to him. Now 26 years old, Juan had met Soul when he was 6. Soul never let humans work for him, only his coven of controlled vampires. Juan was an exception because Soul somehow found a soft spot for him in his steel heart, although he lacked a soul. How could that have happened? Well, Juan lacked a stable home life. Soul found him wandering aimlessly around the streets of Atlanta's The Bluff. He was hungry and scraggly, begging adults for loose change or some food. Soul fed him, and after that appeared most days to make sure he ate. The kind act warmed his heart. As he got older, he got closer to Soul. Over time, as their trust built, Soul told him all about what he really was. At first, one thought the man he started to bond with was insane. If you're what you say you are, one couldn't even say the word out loud. Why am I still alive? Because I see something in you that you don't see, Stowe simply stated. At the age of 16, everything one knew about vampires from the movies was debunked. So, how come you can walk around in sunlight? Shouldn't you catch on fire or some shit? One asked with a smirk. So had to be testing him or something. A witch friend of mine, he simply told him with a serious face. Bursting into laughter, Juan slapped his leg at the amusement of what he was being told. With a straight face, Soul continued. She did a spell that allows me and my coven to walk around during the day. Also, just so you know, vampires don't go up in flames in the sun, nor do they sparkle. That's folklore, a myth. The sun does have an effect on them. In the sun, you can see our true age. My skin was immediately wrinkled, and I appear to be 84 instead of 25. You should write a book. Shake his head. One wondered if So was going to keep this up. I'm telling you the truth. So stated with a shrug. Believe it or not. Okay. So why can you be around humans without tearing them to shreds? It took me years to learn my lesson when it comes to that. So chuckled and kept his eye contact with him. I figured out ways to control my hunger. So over the years, Juan and Soul became closer and closer, and the coven became his family. To his surprise, one of the few humans that Soul felt for, Juan knew that the man who had literally raised him wasn't exactly that. He was more than that. His power was immeasurable. Soul somehow felt something for Juan, but when it came to others, he didn't. Most in Soul's life were pawns. He always had an agenda. When the power in the jail suddenly went off, chills traveled over Juan's flesh now. He could feel Soul's presence and wondered if he was there to save him or kill him. It could go either way, since Juan was a threat to everything that Soul had worked so hard for. The sound of steel bending was all Juan heard because he couldn't sense anything else. With power as strong as the wind in a hurricane, he could feel himself being whipped from his position on the cold bench. The other inmates had to be stopped, but Juan didn't sense anything else as he was freed from the bars of confinement. 2 hours earlier, Leia's right leg bounced up and down anxiously after she perched herself on one of the few available bar stools. The bright pulsating lights and bass-filled rap music that blared noisily from the speakers were only making her more irritated. She just walked in the packed nightclub, but was already ready to go. Annoyed to no end, her eyes scanned the crowd while she tried her best to act normal. Her cool hand wiped the beads of sweat from her overheated forehead, and she rolled her eyes when a tall, dark-skinned man with long dreadlocks sat beside her and started spitting his weak-ass game. Damn, baby girl, you gotta be the sexiest thing up in here tonight. I can't keep my eyes off you, beautiful. The wide toothy grin on his face faded when she rolled her eyes at him in annoyance. Thanks, but I don't really feel like being bothered right now. She blew him off as gently as she possibly could. She was there for one reason and one reason only. She didn't have time to entertain him or his obvious lust. The man frowned up his face at her, furrowing his bushy eyebrows together in disgust. I don't even know why y'all bitches come out to entice a motherfucker and then get mad when a nigga approach your ass. You the one with that tight ass shit on. I oughta grab her arm. He would stop immediately. Leia looked to her right, and her eyes landed on the finest man she'd ever seen in her life. His smooth bronze toned skin contrasted with the man's dark chocolate arm that he grabbed forcefully. Keep your hands to yourself in my establishment. He roared his warning with a stern look in his slanted, smoky gray eyes. Clearly, he was an alpha man, strong, and that woke something up in Leia. It was also not helping that he smelled so damn enticing. The scent of his cologne that wafted. I don't know ever know how to say that word. I
Okay.
think it's wafted. The scent of his cologne that wafted sinfully into her nostrils seemed to calm her down. The rude man tried to pull his arm away from the other man's grasp, but it was to no avail. Buff men dressed in all black walked over and swiftly escorted him out of the club, kicking and screaming threats and insults. That made Leia smile against her will because the man who was obviously the owner of the club had protected her from yet another disrespectful ass nigga who couldn't take rejection. Thank you, she told him with a polite smile. It was probably the first one she'd worn all day. No need to thank me. Lifting her hand, he pressed his soft lips against it, noting how tense she was. When he looked up into her eyes again, he recognized the look in them. He'd seen that look a million times before. After he released her hand, he asked, "Are you waiting for someone?" Her eyes avoided his as her dog-colored pupils darted all over the place. Leia found that looking directly into his hypnotizing eyes seemed to pull her in. The effect was something that she couldn't describe, being that she'd never felt a force so strong or intense before. However, the handsome, good smelling man knew exactly what she was feeling. Licking his lips, he repeated, "Are you waiting on someone?" Nervously, she parted her perfectly shaped lips, smeared with the bright red matte lipstick, and said, "Yes, but I don't think they're coming. Let me order you a drink while you wait." He signaled the bartender closest to them, just as she protested. Her eyes were glued to his perfectly trimmed beard, mustache, and sideburns. His wavy, close-cut, jet black hair was making her seasick. "No, I don't drink. I I just do crave," he asked, catching her off guard with his revelation. How could he possibly know that? She wondered. As if he had some type of telepathy, he answered the question that lingered in her mind. "It's obvious. You must be waiting on your dealer." His strong, chiseled jawline twitched as he noticed her reaction to his words. Well, not knowing how to respond, she didn't want him to know that she'd come to his place of business to buy drugs. Crave had been her vice for the past couple of years. It was a new drug that had popped up out of the blue and was taking over the nightlife scene. Leia was so engulfed in her addiction now that she'd skip the party and just go home to get high by herself. It all started when she was out at the club with her friend Breeze. While they were on the dance floor, Breeze placed a small black pill in her hand. "What's this?" Leia asked as she surveyed the pill in her palm. Not new to experiment with drugs, she was curious. "It's called Crave. Girl, that shit is like nothing else I've ever tried. It'll take you from one to a million real quick, like a whole body orgasm that lasts for hours on end. Everything feels so good. Even something as simple as breathing is pleasurable." She laughed hard as hell. "Go ahead, try it." Leia took the pill dry, and that was the beginning of her battle. Now, years later, she knew why it was called crave. Every second of the day, that black pill was all she could think about. At this point, Leia wondered how she was even able to maintain her mediocre job as a customer service rep at her modest one bedroom apartment. All the things she wanted to accomplish early in her life didn't even matter anymore. This makes me sad as I'm reading it.
Look, I'm sitting here like, oh my goodness.
Like I got really sad, like she's real. Okay, so at the age
She
of
is.
23, she was real to me, I guess she is. At the age of 23, she was so deep in the abyss that she couldn't fathom how or if she'd ever crawl out. I'm so, his raspy, alluringly sexy voice pulled her out of her thoughts as he placed something in her hand. When she looked down, she noticed that it was a small plastic baggie with 5 of the little pills inside. Was this a setup or something? The person you were waiting for won't be showing up tonight. He was arrested less than 30 minutes ago. Well, how do you know that? She asked, clutching her drug of choice for dear life. Juan works for me, he told her nonchalantly. Oh, was all she could get out as she reached inside her clutch purse to pay him. Nah, that's on me, gorgeous. A sly grin lingered on his face as she slowly stood up. Thank you, she said nervously with a nod before rushing toward the club's exit. Excuse me, y'all, this is just so small.
No, I know you read. She's waiting for my phone, y'all. Bear with her. It's cool.
Because I'm blind.
It's
Okay,
cool.
so smile still hadn't faded as the attractive woman that he'd been watching. No, this did not. See, reading from your phone sucks because it just took me all the way back down to chapter 2. Bear with me, y'all.
Girl, this is a Keisha Starr chapter reading. Okay.
Okay, I'm getting there. Oh shoot. Okay. What's this? Okay. Not new to experimenting. Girl. Was I on page 15? So that's what I hate about reading on phones because
Off the phone. And listen,
it'll go
technology.
there. Right. Okay. So okay, wait, wait, wait. Oh, he said wine works for me, he told her nonchalantly. Oh, was all she could get out as she reached inside her clutch purse to pay him. Nah, that's on me, gorgeous. A sly grin lingered on his face as she slowly stood up. Thank you, she said nervously with a nod before rushing towards the club exit. Soul's smile still hadn't faded as the attractive woman that he'd been watching from his office's monitors disappeared from his view. He was patient. He knew that she'd be back real soon. Welcome home, handsome, Jade cooed in a lust-filled voice before wrapping her arms around Soul from the back. Soul shivered slightly and then flinched when she lightly kissed his neck. His mind was on the captivating, innocent beauty of the woman at the bar. Although she hadn't given him her name, he knew her name. Fighting the urge to say it out loud and letting Leia roll off his tongue, he knew that Jade was extremely jealous. It will only unleash that demon deep inside of her. Now, just to let y'all know, Jade is a succubus. And I don't know if y'all
It's
know
a,
what a succubus
no, I was
is.
about to say he's a sucker bitch. Wait, wait, wait.
Soul is a
Wait.
vampire, but Jade is a succubus. And
So what's a
a
succubus?
succubus, she's a female demon that has sex with men in their sleep and suck the life out of them. An incubus is a male version of that. So,
Well, I
yeah,
know a few
Jade.
succubus. I know a few
I know
succubus.
one. That's alive. Right. She passed him a Cuban cigar after clipping the end and lit it for him with a silver lighter once it was positioned between his thick lips. You okay, baby? She asked before tightening her grip around his waist again. With a nod, Soul unwrapped her arms from around him and turned to face her. Jade was a gorgeous woman with silky, midnight toned skin, high cheekbones, and a body any warm blooded woman would die for. Every curve and crevice was perfectly aligned into a deliciously voluptuous figure. Her thick lips and almond shaped coffee brown eyes that were always filled with malice beckoned to him. Not able to resist, he leaned over, parted her lips with his tongue, and tasted her undeniable sweetness. So she moaned breathlessly before pulling away. Then she purred. What fantasy are we fulfilling tonight? I can tell you're ready. There was a sly glint in her mysterious eyes as she caressed his extended erection through his black slacks. Tonight, I just need to
Okay.
think. Juan was arrested, and a pound of crave was seized. Smirking at him, she placed her hands on her wide hips and shook her head. So what? What can the cops do to you? That's besides the point, Jade. I've been under the radar this long, and the plan was for me to stay there. If not, it'll start a whole lot of bullshit I don't need. I'm tired of starting over. Those murders have been all over the news for months. And the last thing I want is for my business to be ruined over a motherfucker who can't control his. But you got rid of Christian, so now everybody knows to fall in line. Except for one, he clearly did something to get caught. I wonder if his being blown right now as we speak. Something told him that Juan wouldn't talk because he knew better. But what if the police had already connected him to Club Palace? Jade was right. The police couldn't physically do anything to him. They definitely couldn't confine him to a jail cell or kill him. However, also wanted to do after years of unsettlement was finally dwell in one place, make his money, and continue to live his eternal life in peace. That's what you get for trusting his kind. He's weak. He's human. If you want to do something for me, Jade, leave me be so I can get my thoughts together. His voice was calm, but Jade knew what that meant. She would prefer that he was ranting and raving because at least she knew how to handle him when he was like that. This cool as a cucumber demeanor was her warning not to press the issue any further. Okay, if you say so, she huffed before reluctantly turning to leave the room. The only sound was her heels clicking against the sparkling white Italian marble floor. Wearing 6-inch black red bottom heels and a sexy black lace negligee with crouching panties, she knew that her attempt to seduce him was all in vain. It kind of stabbed at her ego, which was probably bigger than his, but she played it off by pretending not to care. Left alone in his domain, Soul turned to look in the mirror. Puffing on his cigar, he stared at the reflection in front of him. Always immaculately dressed and groomed, he appeared to be successful and well put together. Aurora, his witch friend, made sure that everything was in place, even down to the detail of his reflection being visible. There were so many mirrors situated around the club that if his or his coven's members' reflections weren't visible, it would strike some sort of suspicion. Trying to appear human was starting to become a task for him. With a sigh, Soul knew exactly what he had to do about one now. That's chapter one.
Listen, okay, let's get down to the business because there was so much going on in that chapter.
A lot.
Son, let me ask you, is Son a woman?
So that's a man.
That's a man. And its Soul is a man and Juan is a man.
One is a human, Soul's a vampire.
But are they two men?
They are two men, yeah.
Girl, I was sitting here like, okay, because that is some spice within itself too. So not only you have two male gay vampires.
They're not gay. Soul's not gay. I don't know if that came.
So why was he? Hold on, because it seemed like Soul was like when he first met him and they were talking to me. I got he was pushing up on him.
He's not gay. It's just Soul. I named him Soul SOL because he has a lack of a soul because he's a vampire.
No, but is he trying to push up on one?
No, he was just being there for him because he saw this little scraggly, hungry boy. So he just bonded with him. But Soul's not gay. He just kind of saw. I don't want to give away something later in the book that would explain his connection to a little boy.
But so don't give it away. Don't give it away. But Ty Hill said
it's not sexual, so it's 100%.
Okay. so now I gotta go. Now I really have to go get it because I was picking that up. I was like, okay, now this looks like a little spicy. No, see, Ty Hill said this reminds me of my show Supernatural.
Oh, really? I've never watched it.
That's a good thing because Supernatural has so that's a good thing.
Okay, well, thank you. That's a great thing. But yeah, I didn't want it to come off as so being attracted to him because he was 6 when he met him, and at this time, Soul is like 60, but stuck at 20 something because he's been turned for 80 some years. So basically, he just for some reason this human boy just kind of humanized him a little bit. Put some humanity in him. Let's say that. But as you read the book, you will understand his connection to a boy that and later he has no family, so he feeds them, he takes them in, the other vampires become his family, and over the years he's
don't
like,
tell.
but yeah, I said that in chapter 1, they became his family.
Okay.
Over the years they took care of him, and so he became like one of Soul's biggest dealers. So he was going that
Crave.
the
Tell us
Crave
about Crave.
but yeah, okay, so where Crave came from, that's why I call it Craving Sunset.
So I already picked up on that. I see that the tag. I felt for that for like how you said you was getting sad reading that.
Yeah,
that's what I love. A good author get connected with her writers, with not her writers, with her my mind just went blank. With her characters,
the plight
of her characters.
And I feel bad for her Leia character because she's this young girl who just tried something one day. She'd been trying stuff. She never really got into it, but this one thing just sucked her in to a life of addiction. So I wanted to write a book about an addict and a paranormal rather than just a regular, So the story it is a lot going on, like Jade the Succubus.
Oh, girl, I just got someone said your book is better than true. Like, okay, so Carmen Bird said I'm getting this. Carmen Bird said she's Carmen Bird said she's getting your book. She said she's buying this. And then Lene, first of all, you have my friend who just got married yesterday. She's on her honeymoon, and she said this is making my honeymoon lit. Okay, so she had
when is her honeymoon?
And she said your book is better than True Blood.
Thank you, because I love True Blood. Like, that just made chills. I love True Blood. Like, True Blood made me want to read paranormal. I had never read paranormal, but one day I just watched True Blood out of the blue, and I was so like, oh my God, I was so thank you. Is it Tashi? Tosh?
Yes, Tasha. Yes.
I'm really breaking into a new genre, y'all, and I'm really not trying to like copy anything. I really want an original story, and I promise my plan is to have this out by the end of this month or the beginning of next month. But I'll definitely let you know for sure, Keisha, what my release date is.
Because I was going to tell you that. I was going to tell you to tell everybody. But what I love, let me tell you one thing I love about your book too. The cover is fire.
Thank you.
It attracts you. It makes you want to get it.
Thank you, Giovanni. She's the designer. So any authors out there that need a great cover designer, Sunny Giovanni. She's a great cover designer.
What's her name?
Sunny, SUNNY Giovanni.
Okay, Sunny Giovanni.
She's a writer. Okay. Yeah, she's also an author. So she does really good. She's done my last few covers, actually, to be honest. Yeah, she has. She's great.
How do you come up with your characters?
With this particular normally it's just I don't outline anything. I really just have a initial idea. I know a lot of authors outline things chapter by chapter, but that's not my method.
That's not mine either.
I just go, to me, a book is like real life. You let it happen. Because I could outline stuff and I would change my mind. So I was like, nope, I'm going to start with a concept and I have a thought of the ending. And in between, I'm going to let these characters do what the hell they do. So my characters just talk to me. They're in my head. Like, if I could tell y'all something real, the way I started writing, I was reading really early, like 3-4 years old. I was reading. So by the time I was 12, I had read every book in the children's section in my local library. So I was reading adult books by the time I was 12. When I was 6, I remember telling my Daddy, something's wrong with me. He was like, what you mean? I said, people are talking in my head. And
oh my gosh.
I don't know what to do. And so most parents would think, oh, my child's schizo. But my dad was like, okay, pencil, paper, write down what they're saying. So since 6.
So 6, you've been. I was also going to say that because I too, now, I don't outline, although when I have someone who wants to write a book, I often give them, I suggest the idea to outline because I believe to just go and free write a book, it has to be something that's innate. You have to be born with that ability to be a natural born author and have those writing, that passion for writing, like you just said. But to somebody else, to someone else who maybe wants to just get into the game and they starting off, I always say outline.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they would definitely outline, but definitely when you perfect your craft.
Notes. If you're not gonna straight outline, at least notate your thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah. My first book was a dream.
It was a dream.
Yeah, my first novel, Forbidden Fruit, was a dream. I didn't even want to write anymore.
Wow.
I had been writing for years, and all my stuff was just, it would get lost. Or I had a computer one time, and I got robbed, and they took my computer, and I didn't have a backup, so everything was gone. This is when I was like 19, so I was like, I don't have anything except for one little journal. I was 15, so I told God, I'm not writing anymore. I'm done. I'm over it, girl. That man, that deity told me, oh yes, you will write. I gave you the write. You're gonna write. So I had a dream one night, and I popped up, and I got my pen and my paper, not my computer, my pen and my paper, old fashioned like my dad, and I wrote. I wrote the names of the characters: Diablo, Ayana. At the time, I did not even know, and the title Forbidden Fruit. At the time, I didn't even know how this all connected. I just knew I saw a couple yelling and screaming in the streets, and I know Forbidden Fruit is very biblical as far as your woman.
Yes, it is.
Devil,
an apple.
I didn't know none of that.
So are you, because you were so young, right?
I was 18 when I wrote my first book. When I started, I was in my 20s when I finished, because I was teaching, going to school. I had a lot of boyfriend, English teacher in high school. You don't get to sit down and just focus.
Wait.
Now,
you say your boyfriend was an English teacher?
No, I was an English teacher.
Oh, okay. Look, you see, I was like to say, wait a minute, this juicy.
I was an English teacher. That's what he was.
Like, I was about to say,
boys.
Let me what time of the day do you write? Do you typically write? And let me ask you, do you write every day? And what time of the day?
I write every day. When I'm working on a book, I write every day, even if I just write 50 words.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
That was going to be my next question. My next question was going to be, typically, how many words do you write per night when you write, or per day?
Which is crazy. Is this book came at a really tumultuous, crazy time in my life. Like, with this COVID, it's a lot going on. I was just in a car accident in October. I lost a really close friend, Oliver, to lupus and COVID.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
It was a lot of like trauma, and being a Black, period, you got PTSD and anxiety and trauma. We Black people, we go through. The men, I'm not taking away from the men, but I'm just saying, as a Black woman, we don't talk about that. We think about PTSD is something that war veterans have, and not people who have been traumatized. And I was traumatized, and God put this person in my life at some point who really inspired this story a lot. Now, we were in a kind of a relationship. We're not now. I'm not bitter, because I feel like that person gave me a lot for this story, and I have really been killing this for the last 2 weeks. Like, I've literally finished. It's gonna be a 2-part book, and the paperback, it's gonna be 2 books. Paperback will just be 1 book. Okay. If this blows up, it'll be a series like Twilight.
Well, let's pray on it. Just not hopefully you speak on it. It is gonna blow up. You are going to sell. You making the bestsellers list with this. Let me ask you, writing. You said you had like a real traumatic, I want to say, because 2020 was traumatic for everyone, whether you lost someone or not, because you didn't know if you was going to lose your life or not. You didn't know if going to the market to get bare necessities such as food was going to lead to you catching COVID-19. Was writing therapeutic for you?
Writing has been my savior, like literally so many times. Even before this, it's like, if I don't write, where else will this energy go?
Yeah, because you have energy.
Right, because my energy is crazy, and people think, oh, Nika's such a nice person. She's so sweet. She takes the high road, and I do take the high road because I have writing to help me do that. If it wasn't for writing, I would probably be in prison.
Yeah. I don't think, listen, I say a lot of people don't know that honestly, some people grab a gun, right?
Yeah, I grab a pen.
You grab a pen so you won't grab a gun. Honestly,
yeah.
I grab my computer and I write, and that's how I'm able to sit down because I can literally write my anger away or write. Yeah,
it's such a therapeutic lesson. Like it's like I was saying. Okay, look how a lot of people who don't really have an outlet. Somebody pissed you off on Facebook or in your life, and you go back and forth with these subliminals, and you what they call it, keyboard thugging. Instead of keyboard thugging, I'm gonna kill somebody in this book. I'm gonna cuss a bitch out in this book. I'm gonna take it to this book, and I love all types of music, y'all. You know, artist art, but I love the singer Adele. You know, she's English.
Oh yeah, yes.
So Rolling in the Deep, it's always been a line from that song that I take into my life every day. And in the song Rolling in the Deep, she says, I turn my sorrows into treasured gold. So instead of taking the things I've been through to destroy me, I create art with that. I'm going like a person who go paint a picture after they got pissed, and it's in these art galleries, and you just made $1 million. I'm not gonna sit here and let people piss me off and everything. When I can write a book like this, that could be on Netflix. I'm not. No, I want to be successful. I want to take my energy, negative or positive, and put it into something other than rhetorical shit that don't mean nothing, ain't gonna nothing, ain't gonna change nothing. And so yeah, I put all of that energy into my books.
Into something that can make you so. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Arguing back and forth don't make sense.
What is that doing other than wasting somebody's time?
How do you handle? We talked about this. How do you handle? We briefly spoke before we turned over. How do you handle literary criticism?
Okay, that has been something that is so easy for me because I can take criticism. Period. I have been picked on in school. You know, you little white girl. Girls pulling my hair. You know, we talk about colorism. I know dark women experience it, but it's never really talked about. But sometimes light skinned women experience it too. I wear glasses. I have a lazy eye. I've been called cockeyed, all types of stuff. So it gave me tough skin. Bullying me never bothered me. And so at the age of 9, my mom was like, okay, I'm gonna get you corrective surgery on your eye. I want you to not have to wear glasses and be picked on. I want you to be going through school and going to prom and feeling beautiful, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I really didn't feel like I needed the cosmetic because I'm fine with myself. But for comfort, having to hear your child come home every day. And I would retreat in my room and read a book. Or, you know, but I'm a very outgoing person. So people can try to break your spirit. So what I learned was tough skin. That prepared me for this career. So now nothing anybody can say to break me down. And people be like, that really didn't bother you? No. So as far as this literary criticism, one thing I realized when I put my first baby out there, and I call my first book my first baby, because people will criticize your child.
Yes, they will.
And they would try to hurt you. You be ready to kill them. But when you realize this is beautiful to me, and I put this work in, I gave birth to this. So if you don't like it, fine. But guess what? Majority of people love it. So what I take from the criticism is, if it's constructive, I learn from it. If it's nasty, I ignore it. And I keep it moving, and I don't let it bother me.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah. And that's really,
I love that. I tried, like, and that's what I said. If it's constructive, I learn from it. And if it's negative, I'm going to learn from you and ignore it. Sometimes, no, you do ignore, but sometimes I give you the attention, you know.
For that moment, you might be feeling like, bitch, you know, you have a reaction like, bitch, really?
Yeah, like,
wow, you be like, you know what?
I'm gonna put you in a book and write about you. I'm gonna put you in a book.
I do too. People who have given me critical reviews, I'll send them another book for free. That's something that
I love that.
I think out of I got something for everybody. I told her, okay, you didn't like this one, but guess what? You might like this one. So I did have somebody
that's wrong.
I love Black Butterfly. So I would give a person who gives a critical review that if I can find you on Facebook from your name, I will inbox you and ask you, and thank you for your review. I really considered what you said, and I hope better next time. But I don't want to turn you off as a reader. So maybe this book may be more something you like, because I have a lot of books and they're all different. Nothing's the same. So I feel like if it's 1,000 readers out there, 50 might not like one book, but they might like the other one. So I always invite them to be honest, but don't be. Some people are nasty.
Nasty. That's what I was about to say. You can be honest without being nasty to an author.
That's why I said that's constructive criticism, because constructive criticism is not always good things.
Yeah.
It's not. And I learned from my prior books. I've been doing this for a long time, so I learned from the reviews what to look at next time. So reviews are very
Yes. I love that. You just dropped some gems. So we're about to close out, but I was about to say, I was going to ask you that, to drop a gem. For someone who's looking right now and said, oh my goodness, I want to be an author. I've always wanted to do it. I've been having dreams. I've been hearing voices. I want to pursue this. What suggestions or advice would you give them?
To continue, just start out simple. Don't push yourself. You've never done this. You got to crawl before you walk. So for you to expect to write a book in 3 weeks, like me, after 20 years, you won't be able to do that. My first book took me 4 years. Be patient with yourself. Take notes every day. Write whenever you can. I don't care if you're in the car and you got to pull over and pull out a napkin. Any idea that comes in your head, just write it. Just write for now. Don't think about this. Don't overthink it. Just write. Eventually, you can go back and put all those pieces together.
Yes.
You write, you rewrite, and you rewrite, and you rewrite. So if you really want to do this, just do it. Don't be discouraged. Don't get, oh God. No, it's no method to it. It's not. Either you got it or you don't. It cannot be taught. I don't care what. That's like teaching me to sing. I can't sing. So writing is really something you want to do. You have to perfect your craft. Like you said, it can be a singer whose voice is wonderful, but Beyonce has to keep singing. She has to go to voice coaches. So take creative writing classes if you can. Do your research as far as putting the book out, not actually the material, but as far as like publishing, do your research. Because there's out here to, Jesus.
Dude, I was talking about that. That's a whole nother segment for itself. Just talk about that. Me and my best friend this morning was just talking about that, about the publishing company. Everybody and their mama is signing people, and who are you signing? You ain't going nowhere. So you have to be careful about that. You want to write, and then you just jump out there because you see BJ's Publishing.
Yeah.
What have BJ's Publishing done?
Please
do your homework. Do your homework.
Definitely do your homework.
Someone said Park Heights Keisha. Oh, Touch said Park Heights Keisha peep out, but Dr. Wizard intervenes. Right? Yes, it does.
I saw that she had posted pick up the pens and put down the guns.
Yes.
I really enjoyed this show.
No, I enjoyed you. You have to come back on. I
definitely will.
Please tell everyone your social media, where they can find you, when to expect the book, and you please, soon as you drop it, let me know so we can promote it on there. But tell everyone where to find you.
Yes, you can find me on Facebook, Nika Michelle, Instagram, author Nika Michelle, Twitter, Urban Littress, spell URBANLITRESS. That's crazy, y'all, because they used to be my little publishing company I wanted. And my website is www.nikamichelle.com.
Okay, and Nika, let me ask you, what can we expect for you in the near future? Are you writing?
Definitely more paranormal, because I'm really starting to like this. So yeah, my mind can go places.
Okay, I know. Well, if let me tell y'all, if anyone follows Nika, you'll know that she will have you laughing all day long. Okay. Before you go, let me ask you, because I ask everyone who come on. Before you go, what's in your writing area?
You said what, sweetie?
Describe your writing area.
My writing earlier. Oh my God. I'm getting intense now, because it's like, you get into the ending. So
no, you're writing. I said, I know my accent probably be area.
So the area where I like to sit. Oh, yes. My bad. We do have
Is
different.
there something like where do you write, and what's something that's in your area that you need when you go into your zone?
Oh, got you. Okay. I am a bed writer. I don't know what it
Hey,
is. I have a desk and I don't sit at it. I need to be at my bed with my cat beside me.
yes. Oh,
Comfort. For some reason, I got the TV on, even though I'm not watching it. I can have music on. Like, I have so much going on at once.
so you one of the writers that can write through clutter, like you can hear
Yeah,
a whole district, and then
I need things going on. Sometimes I need complete silence, but for the most part, I have to hear the TV. I have to hear some music. I have to have
okay.
snacks, certain snacks like mixed nuts, granola. Oh, and I might, just to be honest, smoke a little bit, but
Hey, that's no,
yeah.
I don't. You know what? I'm sitting here talking like you would think I do, but honestly, I can only imagine. That's probably you. Probably the next day be like, "Oh, I wrote that shit." Like,
Because it helps me because I am ADD, so it
oh,
helps
okay.
me down and focus. That's why I don't understand how I can have so much going on while I'm writing. But it's just
I probably
I
done
have
woke
a
up and be like,
chaotic
"Who the hell wrote this?"
right. I do get as I'm reading through this, I'm my test read. I use test readers, y'all. So if you want to write and you trust people, get them to read and give you feedback as you write.
Yes,
So you
only if
use
you
test
trust them.
only if you trust them. And sometimes you have to do a contract with somebody so they won't steal your
Yes,
stuff. But I have some
yes.
worthy people who reads for me and they're reading this now and they've read everything from my first book. And they're like, who the hell wrote this? This
Because
is
there's so much.
this is not this is not normally my style, but it was a good challenge, you know. And I say
That's
that too
good.
as a writer, challenge yourself.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
other
You got to.
hmm
Well, listen, I thank you so much for coming on. Please
Thank
come
you for
back.
asking
I
me.
want to show, you know what? I want to tell Samantha. Listen, Samantha made me a cup. Well, first of all, it got Jamaican me crazy. I don't know if y'all can see it got
Oh
my
my
book cover part 1 and then part 2.
yes.
But when I say, oh wait, hold on, she makes so many cute little things. My pen, I was supposed to
Yes.
have this on it.
Oh,
My coaster for my
send her
cups.
information because I'm gonna need her to help me promote this because this
Oh
is
no, honestly, if you want to give us, these are merch that's available. So let me tell you, right, these merches are going to be available on my website.
mhm.
I have t-shirts and everything, but she's good
What's
with it.
your website?
It's ExSTARdinary. You know what? Let me put it up right here
Yeah,
too.
put it up so I can check it out.
So all my information is, I just put it up, ExSTARdinary.com. It's spelled ExSTARdinary.com. But yes, you can go in there and you'll see everything
I can
else.
you, doctor, over there.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations too on all of your accomplishments. Oh,
Thank you.
she's
Thank you.
a doctor. You know, we've been kicking it on social media
Yes.
for years, never had the chance to really talk. So this is
Yes.
beautiful, and I really want more Black women to do this type of thing.
Thank you.
Together. And
Thank
I
you.
love what you're doing. I know it's not just for Black women, it's for
Yes.
authors, but you
It's
know, for Black women to chop it up, I think that's a
yes.
beautiful thing.
I
Positive.
think, listen, like I said, I enjoy it. When I did my reading, I enjoyed it. And it just came to me like, let me have, like, what have other authors on here reading their books too? I get to hear it. And
Authors too.
then we meet and we chop it up. Like you said, we've been knowing each other through Monique. Shout out to Monique Hall.
No. I've
Going
been
out in Atlanta doing her thing.
the book. I knew
You in
her
Atlanta?
the book.
You in Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
have to come. I want to come. If this pandemic wasn't on, I would seriously be out there.
Yeah, we have to meet in person. Definitely.
Yes, but when it's all over, we gonna meet and we gonna chop it up. I thank you so much. You have
Thank
a
you.
blessed night. No
And thank
problem.
you everybody for listening. I really appreciate
Yes, you guys, please support her. Like her page. Support her. Let's support our Black authors and our Black writers. Thank you,
it.
Bo.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sweetie. You have a good night.
Good night. So thank you guys for staying on with me. Please like my IG page. Please like my Twitter page. Please like my Facebook fan page. You all on Keisha Starr page, but I have a Keisha Starr and Keisha Starr's fan page because this page is maxed out. Can't add no one else. But please like my other page. They're scrolling down at the bottom. Trying to build, revamp, Visit my website for products and services, and you'll see everything I offer. Meet me again next week, this time on Thursday. Moved it to Thursday because Fridays is my kids' day, family day, fiance day, family day. But see you guys, and it was a pleasure. Bye.